Hello and welcome to another Let's Play of Eldfall Chronicles, Northern Wind. Last we left off, we managed to finally beat the Temple Ground Lookout using the correct rules, and we decided to go to the Misty Temple with these two events. And drawing our first event location, having already moved up from midnight to dawn, so we have to remember that this is still all in midnight, we drawed the ambush card. And instead of advancing the time by 1 and distributing 1 wound and 3 weak points, start quest 40, ambush. Because I think I can get out better than taking 1 wound and 3 weak points. And here we have the ambush somewhere in the valley. Another reason is I want to play the quest because I just want to play the quest. So, you wake from a shallow slumber in the small makeshift nook you had sought for rest. The stillness of the night is abruptly shattered by the realization that your hideout has been found. The sound of heavy storms, despite the attackers' attempts at stealth, betrays their presence as they close in. You must make a swift decision, whether to muster your strength and fight against the encroaching foes, or to seize the chance to flee towards the first escape, knowing it will mean lengthier route forward. So, set up. We've done that. Place the tiles, place the heroes, position the elevation token as indicated on the field layout. Check. Determine hostiles and the environment. Roll 2 dice. Sagan Theros, don't mess that up. 16 and a 9. The higher roll determines the placement of the hostiles according to the hostile placement table, and the lower roll determines the placement of the environments according to the environmental placing table. So, what was it? The higher one, hostile. The higher one is Sagan's 16. So, the Marauder accompanied by undead followers springs a trap as you move. You've been flanked. Place an Oni Marauder and a Forgotten Hero on exit B, and another Forgotten Hero on exit A. So, Oni Marauder, Forgotten Hero, and here a Forgotten Hero. Oni Marauder and 1 Forgotten Hero, 2 Forgotten Heroes, and an Oni Marauder. And okay. Accompanied by a Forgotten Hero. This one, okay, we have the middle, it's okay. And now we have Theros 9. Place a heavy cover environment on 2 and each adjacent space. It is here, so we are... Okay, this border is in heavy cover. Okay, I will just position it, put out the enemies, and then we will start this adventure. By the way, quest rule, fleeing down the mountain. If the heroes exit the field via exit A, advance the time by 2 time periods. That I will do not. I will fight to get out of B. And quest end. If the quest ends, if all heroes leave the field through exit, heroes may only leave if there are no hostiles on the tile with the exit, and the quest begins with the hostiles' turn. Your journey continues. So, with this, we have the field. I will prepare it, and then we will start with the game. Okay, the hostiles are put up. I relocated my heroes just because I need more space, because Theros has quite a few consumables you can use. And with all of this, let's get into it. Set an ambush. Spawn 1 tier 1 hostile on the space that has an intrigue token. And if there are no intrigue tokens, spawn 1 hostile 1 space behind the last hero. So, tier 1, therefore Bone Walker or Vengeful Spirit. 1 to 10, it's a Bone Walker. It will be a Bone Walker, and behind the last hero, 1 to 5, 6 to, starting at top, 1 to 5, and then going clockwise, it's a 12, so here we'll spawn a Bone Walker. I will just get it out, and then we will start with the first turn. Okay, hopefully now all of the hostiles are here. Starting with the Oni Marauder. Here. He walks 1, 2, 3, 4. He runs, to be more precisely, closer to the heroes. And Theros, despite the heavy cover, will range attacks modifier to income -4. Despite this, he will try to use the grenade onto the Oni Marauder. So he activates first, needing a 10 or less, so 50-50 chance. At 2, this is definitely a hit. So the Oni Marauder now has to roll a 7 or less. And with a 9 he failed. This is the first time. And take a deep breath before tossing it, or inhale a small whiff and you're struggling to fall asleep. So, basically, if failed, they become incapacitated until the next strategic phase. The Oni Marauder is out. This was great. Even when I bashed you last time quite a lot, this was excellent, Theros. Now, starting with the lowest tier, it will be the skeleton which will activate, and 1 to 5 going clockwise, 17 which will be a Nari, and Sagan does not have to spend on a model that is not the partner while the partner is engaged. Okay, it would cost him 2 activation points against the skeleton. And Neri will wait with her reaction. And yeah, she will wait. And the skeleton has 2 strikes with its corroded weapons. So let's see. 2 and a 13. The 2 is a hit, the 13 is not. It has a power of 10. Yeah, it has a power of 10. Minus a Neri's armor of 3. Therefore 7 or less. It's a 9. And Neri will take the weak point and save up her activation. Now the second attack of the skeleton. This one will be Theros. Theros will... He has only an armor of 2. Theros will try to dodge. So the skeleton attacks 2 times, 3 and a 9. Theros rolls a 2, which is enough to dodge. So the skeleton is out of activations. And now Theros will dodge into the heavy cover. Next, the 2 Forgotten Heroes. Starting with this one, it stays idle. And it will try to attack one of these. Let's see which one it is. 5, it will be Nara. Sagan will activate and use his a protector skill just in case, but Nara will also activate and she will cast, since it's a sorcery if I remember correctly, yeah, it's a sorcery, she will cast Command Undead. 1, 2, 3, it is within 3 spaces. So from her last quest she will spend 2 mana token and succeed with it. Must perform the customer spend. If successful, the target attack rolls are negated, and the target with the undead 1 becomes allied to the hostile. The converted hostile retains its remaining AP, so it only loses 1 and becomes allied. So much for this. And now 1, 2. In its active role, it will walk, stop with line of sight, and now it will use its rage attack. Let's see at whom. It will be at Sagan. Sorry, it's only 3 heroes, so it will be once again at Nara. Sagan will use his protector. Nara will use a dodge action just to reposition And Neri will use a dodge action to reposition. And the other Forgotten Hero, which is allied to mine, will activate and shoot at this one. So Sagan becomes a target. Neri dodges one space here. Nara dodges one space here. Sagan takes the hit. And the Corroded Warbow has strike 1. So at Sagan, with a 4, it is enough to hit. And power of 13 minus armor 6. A 14 is not enough, which is another wound token at Sagan, who's at 4 wound tokens. And my Forgotten Hero is allowed to attack the other one. And with a 3, he has 14 minus the heavy cover. And he is atop, so elevation. Okay, he would have light cover, okay, but in this case he has minus 4 because of the heavy cover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but it's still within reach, so 10 or less. This is the case. Therefore, this Forgotten Hero is staggered, loses his second activation, which is quite nice. And power 13 minus armor 6, so 7 or less. And a 9 is not enough. So, Command Undead, definitely worth it. Nara has to get more mana token. So, he is also incapacitated until the next, so it will be not incapacitated anymore. And we're going to the heroes phase. So, I will put out some strategic activation points, and I'll let you join as soon as I'm ready. Okay, Nara will start, and she will cast Soul Leech onto her to regain some mana counter. Because I believe in Mount Soldier, where undead are the main antagonists, this is quite useful. So, with this done, let's start with my own Forgotten Hero, who will attack the Oni Marauder, which will trigger a reaction from these two. So, the Oni Marauder dodges one space forward, and this one, the other Forgotten Hero, will attack my Forgotten Hero. My Forgotten Hero at the Oni Marauder, needing a 18 or less because using its marksman skill. So with a 12, it is enough to hit. Is the Oni Marauder able to dodge? With a 12, it is unable to dodge. Therefore, it hits. Power of 13 minus the armor of 3, so it's a total of 10 or less. With a 10, it is actually enough to put a wound onto the Oni Marauder, which is nice. And also it becomes poison. And poison 1, it gets the weaken trait. So where's the broken shield? Here it is. Weaken. And weaken halves toughness and -1 strike until its next strategic phase. Okay, so for this turn, now the Forgotten Hero once again would attack the Oni Marauder, who once again tries to dodge. Okay, I forgot the -4, but I think I wrote low enough that it doesn't matter. So the Oni Marauder gets 1. And this Forgotten Hero once again attacks mine. I still have to do that roll. This Forgotten Hero, is he able to hit mine? With a roll of 4, it is able to hit mine. So he is out of activation points. So you go 1 back. And you get 1, Yep. And is it able to wound? With a 15, it is not able to wound. But it can put a weak point onto mine. So now it becomes a little bit more tricky. Theros will activate next, 1, 2, and he will shoot at the Oni Marauder, which triggers as previously attempted with the Forgotten Hero. So Oni Marauder gets 4 and Theros gets attacked. So Assassination 1, also getting the activation point. Assassination 1. Let's go. With a 9, 17 minus 4, 13 or less, Theros hits. Is the Oni Marauder able to dodge? With a 20 he is unable. Will the Forgotten Hero hit Theros? With a 4 he will. Theros is therefore out of activation points. With Theros wounded, with a 17, Theros is not wounded and gets another weak point. Excuse me. And is Theros able to wound the Oni Marauder? 19 minus 3, 16 or less. With a 13, he is able to wound the Oni Marauder. So, half toughness and -1 strike. Now, Anari will activate. She will cast Melting Touch 2 times onto Sagan and Nara. And now let's start with Nara. Nara or Sagan? Let's start with Sagan, who will activate once, gets into the same space as Nara and the Bone Walker. And just grabbing his. And he will attack the Bone Walker, who will attack in return. Bone Walker Sagan. The Bone Walker has an offense of 10 for every other undead ally. Okay, so there's no other undead, so 10. Sagan will use Masterful Parry to reduce the undead's defense value to 7. 5 is still a hit. And Sagan, 14 or less, rolls a 11 and a 19, so the 11 wins the confrontation. And with a 4, the undead is down, and the burn does nothing, but this was the Bone Walker. So now, Nara with Melting Touch can walk up to the Oni Marauder and attack, since he's out of activation points. These will be 3 attacks. And let's see. Her offense is only 14 because I forgot to move Sagan previously, but still with a 7, a 14 and a 12, 3 hits. Power of 14, ignoring any armor. So 14 or less. And these are 3 wounds with a 3, a 10 and a 12. Nara kills the Oni Marauder, who is with a 12 also burnt, so mortal is removed. Even when the other Bone Walker would have still been there. So, Oni Marauder removed. And Nara once again gets 1, 2, 3 activation points. And since she used an attack, she's able to redeploy. 1, 2, 3. Going ahead. Sagan has still an activation. And Sagan will use a run action. 1, 2, 3, 4. To get closer to Nara. And then to end the turn, Sagan will activate and use his Ranger to get into the same space as the Forgotten Hero. With that, let's see what the enemy has. Hazy environment. Okay, no range attack through from outside, so range attacks are basically down, except for Theros, who is allowed to do that anyway. And now the Forgotten Hero's turn. It is the Forgotten Hero's turn. And since this is a 2 space, Nara is also able to activate, even when she is not in the same space as Sagan, as the hostile. And with this, the Forgotten Hero will attack Sagan. Sagan will make a confrontation out of it, and Nara will also attack the Forgotten Hero, as does Theros with his sniper ability. The Forgotten Hero here will just do a dodge action and get a little bit closer. Anari has no line of sight. So, the Forgotten Hero. Sagan uses his ability Fencing 1 to reduce the Forgotten Hero's offense value by 3. So therefore, Corroded Sword needs 11 or less to hit. 15 and a 3. The 3 is a hit. Sagan needing a 14 or less. 13 and 12. Sagan definitely wins this. Power of 15, still with Melting Touch, ignoring armor. The 11 is a wound. 19 is one weak point, and the burn of 15 or less destroys the Forgotten Hero, so Nera doesn't have to activate. So with this, there are no hostile because this one is still allied, because it is a continuous. It is a continuous spell. So now our heroes are Anari runs 1, 2, 3, 4, and runs again 1, 2, 3, 4. Theros runs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Stays where he is. Sagan walks into the same space, and Nera does the same. So the Forgotten Hero climbs down, walks up to here. Let's see what the hostiles turn does. Premonition. We have the Night Effect and Hateful Fortitude. What is the Night Effect? Whenever a hostile performs, okay, we take the Night Effect because it doesn't matter now. And in the next turn, our heroes will leave the field. So, and with this, we have completed the ambush, and I believe 1, 2, 3, I took 3 weak points instead of 3 weak points and 1 wound. And also I gained 1 mana token. What I learned in the last 2 games: Command Undead is a really nice spell, assuming that I am playing it correctly. So, with the quest ending, we can continue our journey. And as I said in my last video, I'm still interested in the Mist Temple. So, this was the first event. Now we go to the second. I will clean up the board, and then we will draw the second event card. And now we are at the dawn. Okay, with the ambush successfully survived, let's go to the second event. And we will have Hot Spring. You stumble upon a natural hot spring. Its warm waters beckoning you to pause and recuperate. Each hero may remove 1 wound and 1 weak point. You do not need to advance the time. That is great. So we stay at dawn. It was each hero. So you lose 1, you lose 1, and Theros also loses 1. Nera just chilling in the hot spring. So really beneficial. I need not to advance the time. And then we will go to the Mist Temple at dawn. So with this, I hope you enjoyed this little battle report about the ambush. And the next time we will be back and explore the Mist Temple. Until then, have a good time and bye!